We like to think of ourselves as a constellation of stars, moving away from the old model of one huge star around which everybody revolves and into a constellation full of stars. Strangers and Other Angels in East Harlem, New York City, reimagines the medieval mystery plays in the 21st century. And we as a company were very fortunate to be born in Orvieto. Even though we're based in New York, we were born there, and that was the very city where the Feast of Corpus Christi was launched by the Pope in the 1260s, who happened to be living there. At the Corpus Christi feast celebrates the presence of Christ in world history. And the feast catalyzed these remarkable plays across Europe and developed into huge cycles that are still played in England. Why the medieval mystery plays? We're reimagining, revitalizing, reinvigorating these plays for the 21st century, bringing together old and new worlds, pushing into the street, greeting our audience in the street, involving a company of actors and singers and instrumentalists and musicians and dancers from all seasons in their lives, from children to people who are retired, and designers and all manner of people that participate in creating a piece of work for an audience that's also invited to participate in the very work in that moment. These medieval mystery plays. Well, I feel that we make an effort to reimagine, revitalize, reinvigorate, rethink, and reinvite an audience into these plays in the 21st century that brings together old and new worlds. My inspiration for it involves chiaroscuro of Caravaggio, of Rembrandt, the even older paintings of Fra Angelico, where I see jazz angels present in the Dance of the Blessed, in the frescoes in San Marco, and then slamming that right up next to jazz and the American vernacular and Italian passion, music from America, iconography from Italy, but then theatrical traditions from every place. And our effort is to create an international stage for this work that brings people from the entire world together in a piece of work that is inspired but not reverent to these medieval mystery plays.
What do you think about doing this kind of work in New York?
It's a challenge doing it in New York. It's one thing to work in a place where people are loaded with belief, and then to work in New York City where there are all kinds of people. There are believers and non-believers here, and I say that with all respect to what New York is, because New York is a commercial place and it's loaded with all kinds of people. And then, so many things happen in New York that people walk past and not pay attention. Something's happening in Oviedo, the entire town comes out, and They're with it. They want to be with you. They want to follow you around. They want to touch you. Also, the way they live with art is a very different way from how we live with art here. I mean, our art here is still going to a Broadway show, which is a kind of art too. But, you know, they live with art in that just you showing up, just you standing in the space and starting to make some kind of sound, they absorb that and respect that, you know. It takes a little more to bring New Yorkers around to that kind of feeling, I think. You know, I could be wrong, and I may be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong.
Go get the fees is the only rule. Go get the fees, get all that you can to the measure and worth of every man. Go make them fly. Go keep them high. For the underdogs must pay or buy. Say, masters, say, for you must know which way does the wind of virtue blow. See, Mammon smiles with a gracious nod.
The medieval mystery plays were for the people. And the plays pushed outside of the institutions of the church. There were no theaters then. It was all the church. And they pushed outside into the street. So there was this chaos. I like to think of the play as a recipe that has a kilo of chaos in it. The people and everybody was mixed up together. Performers, audience, lay people, church people, all kinds of people, everyone together, animals. And here's an opportunity. I think we're hungry for it now. I feel it. I'm hungry for it. Where we want to be together. We want to crash through the borders. We want to do something together and create a piece of work that we know can be made, that is stunningly beautiful, and because it calls upon the spirit of humanity.
The children, I think, are very, very important to the show. It's very important to get them involved. They are absolutely adorable as the sheep, and I think that, you know, given the way life is, you know, we are different age groups, different levels of experience, and it's a beautiful thing when you can bring all of these elements together and they can work together in harmony. I think it's very much like the world, or as the world should be. You know, as I said, I won a Tony Award a few years ago, and performing the creation on the porch of the Duomo has been my second greatest theatrical experience, I must say.
Let it shine.